Domestic violence is a serious issue that still occurs today. Domestic violence is messing with a human being's physical, sexual, emotional, economic, or psychological actions. Domestic violence breaks several articles, such as Article 5. Domestic violence does this by torturing and degrading women. Marina Pisklakova, a modern-day Speak Truth to Power defender, is helping with the issue of domestic violence. It all started when Marina was working a research study when she discovered that family violence had reached epidemic proportions. Marina wanted to make a difference in Russia. Marina Pisklakova created the first hotline and counseling service in Russia, which she has extended to approximately 150 multiple different places. She started this hotline by herself. She had no experience for what she was doing but was passionate in making a difference. She started off by taking 4 hours talking over the phone with women in need and did 4 hours of counseling with women every day. She did this for 6 months by herself. After these 6 months, her hotline and counseling service took off to be as big as it is today. Her hotline is named Anna Association No to Violence. She had a bumpy road along the way to getting her hotline to where it is today. She had gotten several threatening calls to stop her hotline. But with the support of her family and determination, she would continue this operation. To this day, Ms. Pisklakova still continues to help women through her organization. She has not stopped there, for she is trying to get domestic violence the attention it deserves to stop it. She is working on getting a law passed so that women can press charges in domestic violence cases. Domestic violence is an issue faced all over the world. It is quite unbearable to see how these stats have not changed throughout the years. Women from ages 18 to 34 have the greatest risk of being victims of domestic violence. To this day, every 1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence. Currently, there are 603 million women that live in countries where domestic violence is legal. Here are some stats that demonstrate the impact of domestic violence. In Russia, violence occurs 25% of the time in families. Nearly 65 of homicides are caused by domestic violence in Russia. Nearly 14,000 women die annually from domestic violence at the hand of the husbands and other family members. There have been several cases of domestic violence in Russia where it is treated as minor hooliganism. This limits police from being able to intervene. In the UK, domestic abuse will affect 1 in 4 women and 1 in 6 men in their lifetime. These cases of domestic abuse lead to an average of 2 women being murdered each week and 30 men per year. In the U.S., 1/3 of women are murdered each year by an intimate partner. In the U.S., a woman is assaulted or beaten every 9 seconds. The U.S. government estimates that 1 in every 4 women will suffer through domestic violence. An estimated of 1.3 million women are victims of physical assault by partners each year.
I don't get domestic violence cases that often in the legal clinic, maybe once a month or so. They tend to be moms who come in that have issues with husbands or boyfriends. We also occasionally have issues with high school students who are in abusive relationships where their boyfriend is also a student at school and who is also physically and otherwise abusive. Well, I think of domestic violence almost in terms of torture, physical abuse. And therefore, I think domestic violence reflects this idea that a person has a right not to be physically tortured or otherwise abused. There's a lot of things that need to be done to fix domestic violence in multiple directions. First, we need to teach men to treat women not as possessions outside of the sort of patriarchal idea that they have of women, so that men don't feel that it's appropriate as men to treat women that way. And then we need to do more outreach with women so that they know what resources there are out there, what rights they have as far as going to the police, getting orders of protection. But additionally, women need more support services if they want to leave an abusive relationship. For example, a lot of women, if they don't have jobs, economically can't leave the relationship. They're sort of stuck. They don't have anywhere to go. They're often embarrassed to tell family and friends, so they stay in the relationship because they economically can't afford to leave. So a lot of those social issues need to be fixed before we can move on from domestic violence as a major world issue.
Domestic violence is an issue that needs to be addressed. There are women experiencing this every day. Women need to be informed of their rights and things they can do in order to stop domestic violence. But most importantly, they need to stop living in fear. For there are many things women can use for help. There are hotlines, counseling services, and more. Let's put a stop to domestic violence.